now.
The beat is
and I'll talk about it today. I listen to the world is yours. And I'm like, they talking like this. So whoever you think is the best, they not making the world is yours. They're not making If I Rule the World. They're not making Juicy. They're not making Warner. They're not making Sky's the Limit. They're not doing it. They're not making Can't Not the Hustle. They're not making The Evil. They're not making Pop. They're not making it. I'm a rapper. I'm not making it.
These biting my style, I hope they got dental plans. So get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. Get that pure dough. Get that pure dough. Go get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. Get that pure dough.
It's me, Handsome.
Yes,
Back with another episode of Verse for Verse. Here with Big U and James Rich.
We back.
Happy Black History Month, you know. I guess today we're gonna talk about some things as usual, but I wanna start off by asking you guys, how hard is it to change? We can start with you, Rich.
Change what? I don't know.
Change your ways.
My ways. I don't think it's. I don't know if it's hard to change. Yeah, I think it's very hard. I think it's very
My
hard.
boy will say the opposite thing in 5 seconds. I don't think it's hard to change. I think it's very hard.
Yeah, like I don't think.
No,
I
I
don't
put
think
my foot
it's
on
you.
somebody's couch.
I think yes, sir. I think it's hard to. I think I was watching the episode we did that you just put out, and I was talking about like it being hard sometimes to be who you want to be based on your environment.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, I think it can be difficult if you don't feel comfortable enough to change or do things differently than you once did them, because you feel you might not fit in or people may get on you about it or whatever. So in that case, I think it really can be difficult. I think most people, naturally human beings, I think want to grow and change, but I think it's hard depending on the type of environment you in.
Got you. What you think, Seth?
Yeah, I think that it may be hard to change, but I think it's simple, but it's hard. Because I think that the things that people want to change, people know how to change the things that they want to change. But like Rich was saying, depending on your surroundings, pressures, expectations, and all of that type of stuff, that stuff makes it hard.
So, do y'all think it's more difficult to change in the same environment? Like, if you leave your environment, it's easier to change your ways.
Yeah, I think that's the key to changing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I kind of believe you have to. I don't even think you can change in the same environment. And what I mean by that is like, even if it's like, let's say you can't move, right? Say you're younger and you can't move where you live, you probably gotta stop going around the places you used to go. You might have to stay in a house, stay to yourself more. I just really believe that the way to change is changing your surroundings.
Got you.
I think that there's a caveat to that, though, and that is that you commit to the change yourself before you change your surroundings, because
Right.
no matter where you go, there are the same people, places, and things. That's something they talk about, people, places, and things in the halls of Narcotics Anonymous. You got to stay away from people, places, and things. And people and places and things are
Everywhere. Right, and I mean, and that's why it's funny you say, like what he said, you know, like I've stopped drinking for a year and stuff like that, and, you know, we talk about that all the time, where it's like people who stop doing things, but they can't go around it. It's like, are you really changing if you can't be around it? If that is all it takes for you to... Because you're going
to bump into that same situation, you're going to be back at square one, yeah.
You know what I mean? So is that still a change if you can't be around the situation? Like, you change, but as soon as you get around it, you get influenced too easily and you
ain't changed.
Revert.
Yeah.
Nah, you ain't changed. But I think there's a process. And I think sometimes you need to put yourself in a position to, you know, to get over certain things. Like cold turkey, right? Like, people are drug addicts. Yeah, you can go cold turkey. It's just very hard. You know what I'm saying?
To do anything, to do
yeah,
cold turkey diet. I ain't never eating another piece of chicken. That's hard.
Yeah.
Maybe you eat a couple pieces less A week.
So I think it's about building up like the confidence that you can change. And I feel like for me, at least just personally, for me, I had to change my surroundings to even get the confidence to be like, you know what? All right, this does work. I can do this because I really couldn't do it in the scenarios I was in.
Facts. I think, like you said, it's a process. So it's like you get out of your surroundings, change your environment so you can actually focus on the changes you want to make. But you still have to be able to go back into them environments and be this person that you are claiming to have changed into.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't. So when we talk about, a person going cold turkey or something like that, supposedly it works, right? Like they go through these feelings, their body is hot, they cold, they itching,
detox.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But once they do that, they don't want that drug anymore.
Well, their body doesn't want it, and that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, if you believe in product of your environment, right, or the influence of your environment, like I was gonna ask, I forget the question now. I didn't want to interrupt you, but it's like, if you, let's say you change, because you said change into, like you stop doing certain things that you may used to do, right? Do you feel like if you put yourself back in the same situations, you could kind of fall back into the same practices, even if you've changed?
I mean, so yes, you can.
I mean, it's not gonna happen overnight. It's the same way the habits. You didn't pick the habits up overnight.
That's a fact. You know what I mean? So what I read, because I know they used to say it was like a 21-day rule. I don't know if y'all heard about that, but it takes 66 consecutive days to form a new habit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And even when you think about that, some people might say that's crazy to do something 66 days in a row.
Yeah.
I don't think that's crazy.
I know I'm saying some people will say that, and it's like I can't. I got to go to the gym 66 days to start going to the gym every day. So it's a lifestyle now. You know what I mean? So I think once you do that, when you actually make the change and form a new habit, if you go back into certain environments, you're gonna remember what's important to say. All right,
but what if you go back in that environment for 66 days?
It depends on the change we're talking about, because no matter the environment, if the changes is I'm no longer gonna rob niggas or something like that, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta have like a why. Maybe.
I was going to say, but why did you rob niggas?
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was getting at.
And if you get in that same situation, I think he gonna be robbing niggas.
That's all good, because my question is gonna get philosophical, and I don't even know if it's a good question. It's probably a really simple, stupid question. But like, do we?
No
change?
questions are stupid.
Do we
really change,
or do we like become who we need to be in the situations that we're in?
Yeah.
So this is crazy, right? This is so weird because I didn't think this would have anything to do with what we're talking about today, right? But I just started watching the show. Shout out to Sally. Told me to watch the show called The OA, right?
That's on one of my lists. It's not a movie. It's like a futuristic thing.
It's two parts to it, so it's a 2-part series, and pretty much somebody they traveling through the different multiverses and stuff like that. But then when she travels to this other multiverse. And she's in this other person's body her father didn't die at this young age. She lived with her father. She's mad rich. She put that person's consciousness deep inside of her. So it's still there, but she took over the body and she's just remembering everything from where she came from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm thinking about it because at the end of the show, they telling her, stop locking that person up. Let them live with you. Like, don't be afraid to let them be a part of you, because she couldn't remember none of the memories from this multiverse. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, I'm just thinking about that when you said, do we really change? In my mind, it's like you kind of lock something down in you. Yeah. It's still there. It's still there.
Yeah. And the other part of you just, you grew.
It grew bigger than that part where you like,
or more important to you or whatever. Like you were saying, like the why. Like if there's a reason you did this, you gotta stay focused on whatever, and that's why I say, like, I think it's like, it's funny. I'm always quoting Coach Tibbs, like the thing about consistency,
Shout
right?
out to the Knicks.
Like the thing about just doing the same thing over and over and over, kind of like you said, it's like the 66-day thing. It's like if you keep doing the same thing, it kind of becomes like who you are. Even if you never thought you would be this or could be this, it's like, well, if I just keep showing up doing this, then this is what's gonna be.
People will see you doing something and you be like, nah, I like to do this. They be like, nah, nigga, you do that now,
Right,
Because
right.
I see you doing that,
see
so
you
you
been
do
doing
that.
that for
You
a
know what I mean?
That's part of what he was talking about, and on the other episode that we were talking about,
Right.
people, those different people who you are. So you could be the person who you know deep down in your heart, this is who you think you are. Then you could be the person that people see you to be. If they see you down at the liquor store every day, you might feel like you're the healthy, whatever, but they're like, nah, you be drinking every day at the liquor store.
No, I can go down rabbit hole with this question. We're gonna continue.
I mean,
no, continue.
where you want to take it?
I don't know yet.
There.
I don't know yet. It's gonna keep going. It's gonna keep.
Because I'm gonna get into the world changing, right?
I was gonna say because
with
people,
like
with people, I feel like I don't know if we really change or if we just replace behaviors with routine.
I mean, that's what
and it's like still there.
Right.
So did you change or did you just replace your
and because I think
routine?
Back to the spiritual conversation, I believe we're all knowing, all powerful, so we can be all and everything.
Yeah.
It's what, like you said, what we choose to do for whatever reason. Could it be our environment, what we need to do?
Which consciousness are we going to call on?
Because
depending on the situation we're in.
Yeah.
Let's be clear, right? If there's a piece of you that has helped you survive, and you are now back in a place where you need to survive, you're gonna bring that person right up. Like, all right, I gotta
bring that power right back.
Self-preservation, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Preserve yourself.
Oh, I see where you're trying to go. That was a perfect sound.
But as for the world changing, guys, how often do y'all think the world changes? Is it every day the world is changing? We're 30s, 40s. You've been around longer than us. How has the world changed to you? Like, because I know, with technology is like the main thing I would say that changed the world in a big
lifetime,
way. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I think just even in his lifetime too.
Just something else.
I think so. I'm gonna briefly say something that I'm gonna get right to the elephant, right? So the world has changed immensely in every imaginable way. So you talked about technology. They got all these different laws to nutrition, the amounts of things they allow in foods or not in foods, the way that they allow, like, women couldn't wear this, now they can. Kids couldn't say this, stuff couldn't come on TV. It's been all kinds of changes have happened in the world, except for in the one area where to us, we've been asking for a change for decades and decades of time since anybody can remember, since before I was born, our moms and grandmoms and all of them have been asking for a change in how we, black people, are considered and treated in the world, or at least in this part of the world. And it doesn't seem that it has changed much. The world has changed immensely.
In many ways, except
just
for
not
us
in that way.
Black folks. Happy Black History Month. Here we go. So I think
trying to make us history.
Nah, I mean, so just real quick, because it's funny to me, right? That I guess maybe 2 or 3 years ago, we got Juneteenth is now a holiday we get to celebrate.
Yes, sir.
And it's on, you get a day off for it.
We do.
You know
it's
what I'm
a
saying?
national holiday, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
How do you feel about people's reactions to
this is where
like when they discuss it?
I'm gonna take it there.
Like it's a joke. Like
I'm gonna take it there, man. Like,
it's crazy.
First off, the fact that, and I want to say, I guess, thank God for technology. Is that why, like, people decided to put it all over the internet? 4th of July is not for us, so we end up getting this day. You know what I mean? But as amazing as that is, so many things that's going on in the world. The powers that be, it feels like they're like, let's give these niggas this at least, and they'll shut up and stop bothering us. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like that. I'm happy that, there is a day that people can now look up and understand this is really about us. This is really when we became free, and this is our Independence Day and the 4th of July, but niggas still celebrate 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? So that's strange to me. Negus. Negus.
Niggas don't.
Those is kings.
Right. We don't.
Those is kings.
Right. You know
Niggas
what I
is
mean?
kings.
And just, to just bring it back a little bit, Black History Month, this actually pisses me off.
That's the shortest month. That's the funniest
This
thing
shit
to
is
me.
crazy,
So
bro.
it's the funniest
But
thing
pisses
to
me
what
me.
off.
about if it was a 31-day month? Would you feel
What
better?
if it was a 32-day month?
That's what I'm saying. How
I'm
about
saying
the
it had nothing
fact?
to do with a month.
Okay, that's what
the
I'm.
days in the
I
month.
hope we was getting
It
to
was
that.
just, no. He said that shit. That funny.
But that is
that's
part-
crazy
yeah.
too.
That's
though.
funny, though,
That's
to me.
that's
'Cause it's
crazy
like-
too.
That's the dig.
Cause it's like
There you go.
Because it's like because giving you the month is wild. And if they gave you the shortest month on purpose,
That's
That's
even
crazy.
wilder. Yeah.
that's Deontay Wilder.
Every 4
That's
years
crazy.
we get 29 days. You heard?
That's not because it's like well, let me ask this real quick. You think that's on purpose?
That's what I'm saying.
Of
I believe
course it
it's
is.
all on purpose. It's
Of
all
course it
on
is.
purpose,
In
man.
It
order.
has to be because somebody has to say, that's the short month, right? Like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. In
then-
order for
and
people
what else
that's
they
in
got in
power
this- come on,
to
man.
maintain control, you gotta always be
Show your
pushing.
power.
You always have to be pushing that agenda all the time.
That's hilarious.
All
That
the
shit funny to
time.
me,
We shot
man.
him, but he had a pack of sick. Like whatever is going
that's
on, you gotta
crazy.
be like, watch what we can still do.
He had pictures where his middle finger was up.
Uh-huh.
What?
Yeah.
What are we talking about, man?
Pants are sagging. He was obviously a gangster.
Laughing to keep from crying.
Like,
Black History Month.
but with the Juneteenth, just like I get offended. So I'm stuck somewhere in between. I'm offended that it took all this time and they're going to say, here's this Juneteenth day.
Right.
But anything that they give us that allows us to celebrate us, I'm all for it.
Right.
But
We
then
need
the
it.
reaction that people that have other, so if Juneteenth is whatever that people try to say, oh, what's that? They try to nominalize it and marginalize all of that. So what's all these other San Gennaro feast and St. Patty's and Cinco de Mayo? What is all of those if it's the same type of thing? So why can't we just have what we have without nobody feeling no type of way? Everybody else do whatever they want on their day and there's no problem. But if we get anything, it's always judged and scrutinized. And
So do y'all know, like, 4th of July, what is that supposed to celebrate? Independence Day. What does that really celebrate?
wasn't that supposed
Let's
to be
Google
the day
it.
that the we got the separation from we got our independence from the Confederacy, but it got nothing to
But-
do with us because we were still slaves.
So that had nothing to do with us. Okay.
No, because
so
we were
that's
slaves
still
at the time. He's saying like we
Yeah.
were slaves, meaning we weren't even people. We weren't citizens.
Yeah.
right.
So that really
the-
has nothing to do.
That's
with
what I'm
us.
saying. The reason I asked that is like, should that still be a day that's celebrated?
Not for us.
I mean, but it should be celebrated for somebody else.
I guess.
Because it's supposed to be for everybody. That's what they was trying to make it seem.
Look at
no?
holidays, man. We got Thanksgiving. You got 4th of
Yeah,
July.
these
You got
shits ain't
all
really
these. Come
real.
on, man. So people celebrate what you
Now,
want to
all I said,
celebrate,
if you
but
go
leave
down
our
that
my day
rabbit
alone.
hole-
Leave our days alone. That's
No,
all I'm
seriously,
saying.
If you go down that rabbit hole, you got like are any of these holidays like even
What they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's just an excuse to.
Juneteenth is the only one right now.
I think it's actually a way to distract
Juneteenth might be the only
and
real
continue
holiday.
to hide.
No, the
Truth
ones that
or
were
truth?
created, like Kwanzaa, Juneteenth,
Oh,
the ones
okay,
we
those.
created
Right.
that have meaning behind it that you can research and that it's officially, that's what
Right.
it
What it
means.
is. This is what it is.
Because
Easter.
Christmas, no.
Easter.
Thanksgiving, no.
And listen, with
The
4th
New
of
Year,
July,
they say don't start until.
well, we know that. That's
Yeah.
obvious. Look
There's
at the
so
spring. It's
many-
winter right now.
What
Come
about the
on.
Easter Bunny?
Come on, man. Easter, no.
But
Columbus
but back
Day,
to the 4th of
no.
July. Back to the 4th of July though. It is an Independence Day. It's just black people weren't free.
That's why I just wanted to be clear.
Well, that's what I
about
think.
it.
I could be wrong. But
Not- like that's why I just wanted to make sure that it is a day that people still can celebrate for something. You know what I
But
mean?
why would you? I guess.
Because in my mind, it's like if we wasn't all free,
Wasn't it? Let me see.
if we wasn't all free,
Wasn't it?
niggas need to understand. Nah,
Oh, you mean black people?
yeah,
Oh yeah. Well, we should know that. That's obvious. We should know that.
but no, I'm talking about the white
1776.
folks as well. I'm
Why-
saying if
Why
they
should they
1776. That's it. Yeah.
if they want to be inclusive, you know what I'm saying? Like white people should celebrate Juneteenth. No,
What you mean?
Ain't gonna,
like,
well,
they-
if they support us,
if they support freedom,
Nah.
right?
It's
Because
some-
that's what that is.
I think it's
question.
simpler than that though. Like people celebrate St. Pat. Like people that's just celebrating, you celebrate just,
I think that's
what
they
celebrate.
Right? Like celebrate free or something.
But they don't got. That's what I'm saying.
That's
They don't
what
even
I'm
gotta
saying. I
care
don't know
about the
what's-
freedom part.
what
Because
is
you
St.
celebrating
Patrick's
St.
Day?
Patrick's Day to get drunk.
Yeah,
They don't,
you're
you know what I'm
saying like just leave us
Yeah,
alone. I
not
get
just leave
that
us alone,
part.
but you can partake. Just be happy that it's a holiday
Right,
and
right.
you.
But what I'm saying
you get off
is
work. and
they
you trying
should
to
be
nominate-
happy that it's a real holiday with meaning behind it.
Yeah,
If you are an American, not even American, what am I talking about? If you are somebody who believes in freedom.
I agree with you, but I don't even think that people is celebrating holidays with any thought behind. Like I don't think people is like.
Oh no, I'm
Most
100
people.
100. But that's why I just said what I said. Until you mentioned Kwanzaa and a couple other joints.
Yeah.
It's like the Jewish holidays is real.
Yeah,
Them's is real holidays.
I don't want to go.
They
here.
cel-
Kids
they-
get off
they
school
celebrate-
for Jewish holidays every year, same day,
but
same
that
time.
culture holds those holidays in a certain reverence, and
Right,
they must
right.
be celebrated a certain way.
Right.
Like I think that most holidays is just like a free for all.
Which in a
Right.
way,
It's just like do whatever.
which in a way, to play God's advocate can show that at least we did put some energy into it to make it a real holiday.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I
I appreciate
But of course,
that.
you can look at it and say we've been pacified, all that stuff too. I don't want to go here, but I'm just gonna bring it out when you're talking about supporting things and stuff like that. It's like
Rich
back to
thoughts.
what we said before about hard to change because of your environment, things like that. I would imagine it would be hard for people who are not black to like. I'm not saying you're saying to do this,
Change.
but to like not change, but to be like Juneteenth. Yeah,
No, nigga, that's change.
like that would be like. and
Imagine
I'm not
we
gonna get
telling
into
them,
that,
we
but
telling them
yeah.
that's not Independence Day for us.
Right.
This is the Independence Day for us.
So let's role play it, right? I just said that to you. You're
A white man.
Caucasian.
Uh-huh.
or
What
somebody
should
that
you say?
yeah.
What would you say? What you think? What you
Well,
would hope as a black person?
Nah, I would say, damn, this whole time I thought Independence Day was for all of us. That's
Right.
crazy that
And I'm
they
like,
they
nah,
lied
it's a
to us.
slave. bro.
It should spark a conversation at the least where the dude might say, "What you mean?" So you say that
Yeah.
that's not our independence, whatever you say, and then at least they could say like, "What do you mean by that?" Like that
And
was
I
the
tell
day
you, I
that.
was a slave, and then what?
That's what I'm saying. So then once you enlighten
And
the
that's
person,
I'm just asking. I want you to
That's
do
not-
it.
That's
I'm
like the
really
big
saying-
But like I
Joker.
said, because I don't know
That's like the big
enough
Joker.
about Independence Day, I can't argue for Independence Day.
No, it's not about
but
arguing. I'm
it
just
shouldn't
saying
be. That's
what-
what I'm about to say because what it is July 4th, 1776. 'Cause I was trying to think of, I be knowing a couple. It was the day that the Declaration of Independence was ratified. That signified the 13
And we
colonies.
were still slaves
13 colonies
until-
separated from Britain.
Right.
We were still
We
slaves.
still slaves for mad
Well,
longer.
the reason I'm asking you this question is because
Right.
I'm trying. We can stop this conversation right after this.
Right after this.
Because I'm trying to get to a point where at least somebody can see what it may look like. Because what I'm trying to say is there's certain things that sound very good to the ears and the brain, but people aren't gonna say these things out loud in public because of what they may feel their community may think of them, where it places them in their community. If you look too supportive, which I think that sounds crazy to even say, but we know that that's the reason why the whole term of an ally, right? Like an ally is somebody who outwardly fights with you, not somebody who behind closed doors says, yeah, that's wrong, or that's, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I asked that question, because a lot of people were talking about what somebody should do, but do we think people are really gonna do these things out loud?
So
And for the masses, I'm sorry.
No, you good. So I got a perfect example for this. I'm not gonna say his name, but shout out my boy. I worked with him, white guy. I called him a racist.
Yeah,
He didn't like that
right. I mean,
because he's
how
like,
could I be racist? I'm
right,
not racist.
right. And I had to explain to him, racist doesn't
That
mean
happens.
that you just want to kill black people.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
the max.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not calling you names.
yeah, I'm not calling you nigger. You know what I mean? How am I racist? It's like, nah, you're saying things that's clearly racist. You know what I
Right.
mean? It doesn't mean you hate us.
You have racist thoughts.
Facts. You know what I'm saying?
And
So,
tendencies.
so we and like I said, we was cool. We used to do overnights at the job, talk
Pause.
before
Yeah, that sound crazy.
Pause, yes. Before, not before, but podcast was
That's
going on. I told
sexist.
him me and
Pause.
him would have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
podcast because we used to sit at the table and talk all night.
All
like,
through the
nigga,
night.
we should do.
That shit sound crazy.
Oh, dude.
Y'all niggas killing me.
That shit sound crazy.
So listen,
To be up all through the night.
so that's how we became
Me, him,
good
table.
friends. You know what I'm saying? That's how we became good friends. And then it wasn't until maybe some time later, you know, things happened.
Just making
I know,
it
it's
work.
hilarious. It wasn't until some time later that, you know, I told him he's a racist.
Yeah.
And then he's like, how? Like, bro, boom, boom, boom. We talking. And then he's like, well, what can I do to not be a racist? You know what I'm saying? And then that's when I break it down to him. I'm like, well, if you are not fighting for
With us. Yeah.
with us,
That's
you are,
it.
you know what I mean? Like,
It's hard. It's for me. It's hard because I love people.
Me
It's hard
too.
to say these things.
He's a
but
nice
it's-
guy, bro.
It's just kind of facts.
He was a
it's
nice
like
guy.
if I see somebody and somebody's doing something wrong to them, and I wait until tomorrow and see them be like, yo, that was messed up what they did to you,
I'm
bro.
gonna get deeper into the
I'm
story.
not your
pause.
friend, my nigga. Like,
He
what
has a
you
group
mean?
chat with a bunch of other white boys, and some of them in there are clearly racist.
Yeah.
And if they're saying racist things and you're not checking them for the racist things they're saying, you're one of them.
I don't know if I subscribe to that. Maybe because I'm older, where it's like,
Let me, go ahead. I'll let you get it
I'm
out.
gonna
get
land
it
it,
off.
and then so I think everybody is inherently prejudiced against other races. So the racism thing comes with the ability to infect some kind of a something on the people that you racist against.
True.
But I think when I'm talking in my conversation, and I don't want to, you know, these thoughts and opinions that I'm sharing are in no way indicative of the feelings of verse. Like, I may be having a conversation that's in private, not in public, and use a whole bunch of inappropriate words to describe all types of different things that, so the fact that he's in some secret, it
I
happens.
think intention.
Nah,
like you
that's
said
what I'm
before
saying.
about intention. I think intention is
Yeah,
important.
If the nigga in your group chat is clearly racist and constantly saying racist remarks and slurs, and you're just listening and you're like, haha, funny, and you're not saying, yo, you shouldn't be saying that. That's crazy. Niggas were slaves and that's really a sensitive topic. You shouldn't be.
And
You know what I
think
mean?
I think more human than that is just like if you care about people. That's my thing. My thing is if you care about people, like I don't care what race you are. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you care about people and something's been done wrong to them and it's continuously been done wrong to them, I can't be around people who are insensitive to that or don't care about how that makes people feel. That I just think that's a human thing to do.
Think about this real quick. Our mother, she used this term
That's what
for so many years.
saying.
But even when she used it, I was always confused. Like, why is she saying that?
Don't say it.
Huh? I'm not gonna say it. That's crazy. I'm saying, but y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
Maybe I don't
Stay
know.
She got a
Come
couple
on,
of
you know what I'm
terms.
talking about?
She has a couple of
But
terms.
right, but in all fairness, when you've been when you grew up in Jim Crow, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. But
there's a
I
different
think that
feeling.
people have your intention again,
Mm-hmm.
what you get to, because regardless of what people might say or they might have off color or whatever, it comes down to, I think, how people really feel about
Yeah.
people, and then in situations where you're interacting with people, are you considerate of their feelings? Are you those types of things?
Do you want negativity to be bestowed upon them? That's I think that's the difference.
I agree,
Like
I
it's
agree.
like I can call you a name or whatever, say
That's
not
what I'm
be
saying.
so nice to you.
That's what I'm saying.
I just
The
leave it
words
at
are just
that.
words,
Not
yeah.
be so nice
I
to
agree.
you and don't feel like, oh, because you're this nationality, this ethnicity, that you should have less than. You know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of what racism is. It's like because you're this, you shouldn't have the same opportunities and everything as everybody else.
And then being in a position where you have the power to
To
enact that
enact
thought
that.
on the people and really not
Right.
let them have.
And
'Cause
that's
some
the
people,
thing
yeah.
I was talking about when I brought up this whole conversation, which I'm a little mad at myself for doing, about you saying what would they say? Because although people say I don't have no power, but when you're of the majority in a country, and we're gonna get into it when we get into this song, you know, you don't know the effect you have on people of let's call it this, white people with people of color, the effect you have on them because of the systemic and historical pain you put on them.
When
That
you speak,
time
you're speaking with
and
the.
every time a person of color
Yeah.
sees a white person, all of that is there. We have to actively work to say this person may be different. or should be different or is different. That we have to do that every single time. So you got to know that your voice is heavy, you know, as a white person.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad we had this conversation. But I will say this: I work for an agency, and I work in my department specifically. You know, we're heavy in DEI work and all that, and I got white people on my team who one of the things I'll leave this with is they have meetings with other white people, right? And that's, I think, is important. It's like, I don't need you to be talking to me about black issues in the world. I'm good. Don't talk to me about nothing about how I feel. Go talk to your other coworkers and colleagues and have that conversation about what y'all could do differently.
And that's what I was saying about my coworker. I'm like, how you can help us is to give your people in that group chat the knowledge and try to get them on your side as well, which is on our side. You know what I mean? But
you know what's crazy though? This thing it almost parallels to what we would ask women to do.
I had that in my notes.
It's crazy.
I had that in my notes.
Like, why is that?
It don't make sense to even bring them up in this conversation.
But it doesn't, and it does. I was about to say, because I think a lot of the misfortune that falls upon the black man is a deflection. Like they put it is a big rabbit. Yeah,
they won't go.
I definitely was going. I had it. I said, you know, depending on the timing, if I need to stretch the conversation out, pause.
You ain't never gotta stretch this conversation out.
That sounded the same. The same thing. What you would say, like, look,
nigga,
go to other women and tell them that we not the enemy.
Seth is gonna say it. You know what I'm saying?
There was a time. And we're gonna get to it, but you talk about changing, and I might have this conversation with Seth, and I read something that talks about the universe and the world moves in spirals, not like circle. Well, it should move in spirals, but when it gets to the point, you know, spirals kind of like a circle, but it extends a little further. Pause, right? But what happens is there's times in our history where when we get to a point where things look like they about to spiral to the next thing, they find a way to
put you in a circle.
Put the loop back.
They
right?
put you in a circle.
And I always say that because, you know, and I said over the last 10 years, especially when Donald Trump got in office, everybody's the world's so horrible, it's so horrible. And it's like, no, the world's moving forward, which is why you have all of this tension. The boundaries are being pushed and things are changing. But this has happened before. Right, at the same time before when black people grew their hair out, right, and became more militant, and now we got Black Twitter, right, and we got all these people that now black people speak up for blacks, right, but they did something before, right, to change it. They got rid of all the leaders and they did a bunch of other things. So now we just got to make sure we don't fall into the same trap. It won't be the same thing because it's not the same situation.
It's distraction though. They always find some way to distract us.
Now it'll be distraction. It'll be the internet.
Find a way to distract
It'll be this inclusion thing where everybody's good. You know, we don't got to worry about
the same.
that.
There's no colors.
There's no problems. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, you know.
All right. With all that said, we're gonna get into a really classic, legendary record.
Top 10 song in my book.
I think, you know, black people love, white people might love it. You know. This is Sam Cooke.
I'm not gonna be able to stay on this show.
The son of Reverend Charles Cooke Sr., a Baptist minister, and Annie Mae Cooke.
These names sound so black.
Born on January 22nd, 1931 in Clarksdale, Mississippi.
22nd? I was born on the 22nd.
The family moved to Chicago, Illinois in 1933.
Chi-town.
We are doing a change.
Gonna come.
It's gonna come by Sam Cooke.
This is a top 10 song for me. I want to go back through all the episodes and see how many times I said a song was a top 10 song.
Yeah,
make a playlist.
A lot of.
So I'm gonna read a little something that they say about this song before we get into it. This 1964 R&B hit written and performed by Sam Cooke is among the most recognizable pop songs associated with the African American civil rights movement.
We talked about that too.
Right.
One of Cooke's inspirations for the song was folk rock singer-songwriter Bob Dylan's song "Blowing in the Wind."
Shout out to Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to, you know.
I got a good question. When's the first time y'all heard this song?
I don't know. I don't know if I heard it in a movie.
Me?
Yeah, well, both of you. I'm just asking both of you.
I can't tell you.
But I know exactly when I heard it.
Really?
Yeah, it was recent. That's why.
Really?
The first time you heard it was recent?
It's fairly recent?
not super recent, but maybe a year, 2.
Wow,
crazy.
Yeah, I was hearing this since I was little. Like they used to play this all the time.
Yeah.
All his music and
No, I heard it when.
So
I
what
heard
songs
it
do you know about Sam Cooke? Because I know you know who Sam Cooke is.
After this. After I heard this song,
Wow.
I went and researched them. But I did that because that that movie that came out with it was about Malcolm X,
Ali and them that weekend when they went to Atlanta.
Yeah, Weekend. I think it was called Weekend in Atlanta, something like that. Weekend, Miami, whatever it was called. That was the first time I heard this song. Song fucked me up, and I was like,
Well, you about to hear it again tonight.
now I play it all the time. This is one of my favorite songs.
Yeah,
like, for
I
real.
sung it at Aunt Lenie's funeral.
Yeah, it's my song.
Because she loved this song.
Do you want to sing it now? Because I could
the
say the
whole thing?
words. You know, I'm gonna say I was born by the river in a little tent, or you could, make the people. I mean, no, it is Black History Month, so you might have to sing it for them.
I've been running ever since.
It's been a long.
Want me.
Yeah, warm it up, Seth.
I got your backgrounds if
Pump
you
it up,
need.
Seth.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will.
Man, welling up already. I couldn't find my sunglasses. Yeah. I was tight, like, damn, I'm about to well up like Seth.
He was born by the river in a little tent.
Just like that river, he been running
ever since.
Why were you running?
Man.
So when I first first of all, what I love about this is how beautifully the song is written. This first couple lines,
the first verse,
it represents the entire song, right? And like you can keep coming back to it and just a reference. But to me, what it reminds me of, like this idea when he says, "I was born by the river, and just like that river, I've been running ever since." So it's like it makes me feel. We talked about earlier about environment, right? Like you start someplace, and in this situation, and a lot of our situations, they're tough situations. And the only way to prosper and to change, to grow and be something more than what you're born into, is to get away from it. And it's so hard and even now, it's so hard for young people that come up in the hood to escape it. And there's not to compare it to that, of course, it was totally different. But just that mindset that we still trying to run out of these situations that we are born into.
But don't we get tired of running? Then somebody say we run from Old Man Quillers.
That was crazy.
We run from Rodderman.
Shout out to Pop. Shout out to Pop.
We run from Rodderman. We run from Old Man Quillers. We take that old ass gun. Like we tired of running. Why we always gotta run? We always running.
And with that being said, though, so he's acknowledging. First of all, in a little tent, like just the visual, like he's not coming for much.
Yeah,
not coming for much, and he's been running ever since he was born.
I just want to be clear,
and the change gonna come.
So that's what I'm gonna get to
at some point.
Interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you good. I just want to be clear about how crazy of a bar that is.
This song is
you know what I'm saying?
Like, I almost cried just now.
Like, nah, nigga, I'm there. I'm mad right now.
That's why I'm talking right now. You know? Shit, Negro spiritual for real.
Nah, Seth over here want to sing all good and shit. Come on, bro. Come on, Seth. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Go ahead. You said how good of a bar.
Yeah, nah, just the artistry, the rapper in me, the lyricist, the I was born by the river. Skip, and just like the river, I've been running ever since.
And actually, I think he said ever since.
Right.
I swear he said every.
First of all, but rivers run.
Nigga.
Yeah.
Nigga.
That's crazy. That's crazy. He gave niggas 4 lines of heatery.
Yeah.
You know what else I think about?
Come on, man.
How he sings, it's been a long time coming. A long time coming.
It's been a long. Hold on. A long time coming.
Like he's making you know how long it's been.
Yeah.
Not just a little while. It's been a long time.
He was a dope songwriter.
A long
He was a dope songwriter. Even this song, he'd been wanting to make these types of songs, but he felt like that we always feel like we are stuck into the box that they gave us.
Cause he getting money singing all the twists,
Uh-huh.
the twists and all that.
Even when I was reading about it. They put this on the B side,
and it's just took off
rather than letting it rock on its own and doing what it's doing. They try to put it down to the this ain't.
For me, what makes this song beautiful is that to me it's sad, but it's not, because he believes a change is gonna come, and I think that's key. Because I think if it was said a little different, I would still love it. But I love that. Deep down, there's a God in him. There's a righteousness in him. There's a power in him.
That faith.
That he has faith that it's gonna change. It reminds me of, like, and not to quote Steve Harvey, but like he said, like, we're 100%. What he said, 100% at overcoming our worst days.
Facts.
Right, and so I just think this right here is just perfect.
All right, verse 2, Seth. It's been too hard living.
This just gets worse. It gets heavier.
But I'm afraid to die. Cause I don't know what's up there. Beyond the sky.
Beyond the sky.
It's been a long time
it's been
coming.
Too hard living.
Exactly. But I'm afraid to die. Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will.
God damn.
It's been too hard living.
Yep.
He didn't say it's been hard living. It's been too hard.
But look at the conundrum, though. It's so hard to live, but he's afraid to die.
Which means he's thought about dying. Which means he thought about maybe it might be better to die.
But the setup, because they preach to us with this is too heavy. This here, because all of the religion that they fed to us, right? If they taught us that we were living wrong and we going to hell regardless,
right.
So he can't die, because if he dies, we going to hell. So he got to live in the hard life that is too hard to live, but he's afraid to die.
I wanted to, when I was driving here, I was thinking, this is the part I definitely wanted to talk about too, because first up, it's been too hard living. So too hard, clearly he's saying this is too much.
Yeah.
Like, I really can't deal with this at all.
With two O's.
You know what I'm saying? And it makes me think, with 2 O's, that's a fact.
It's different.
It makes me think about, and I was thinking about it because I was watching that episode recently, and I was in a bad place. Not a really, really bad place. Let me be clear. I've been depressed before. I wasn't depressed, and I was a little sad, but I wasn't depressed. I'm in a better place now, but I wanted to, just take time to acknowledge that people are going through, like, really, really tough things, especially over the wintertime. Holidays just passed. We ain't got no sunlight, I know, and all that type of stuff. So, it made me think about the times when I was depressed, and it's like, it's tough to feel like you really feel like this what I'm doing is too much to deal with, but you feel stuck now because you're also afraid to die. Yeah. But it also makes me think about understanding spirituality, right? Because, I've gotten to a point, I've always been extremely afraid of death. I'm not really as much anymore because I've become more spiritual and feel like, everything is everything, and there's another world out there.
Watch the OA, by the way.
Right? But I say all that to say, if, like you were saying with spirituality, if we was taught true spirituality, right, that wasn't teaching us that we are cursed and all these type of things, we may have a stronger spirit. I'll leave it there. Yeah, but this is tough. But I wanted to acknowledge that, people are going through tough times, and he really, you can't say it no better than this.
So I was gonna ask. You said it. Are you afraid to die?
I'm definitely afraid to die. I don't want to interrupt. Go ahead. I'm afraid to die.
He's asking you. Are you afraid to die?
Yeah. Well, I had another question, but I want him to answer the question.
Okay. Got you. What about you, Big U?
I don't think that I'm afraid to die, but I think that I have too much to live for.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
So dying is it's not like, I can't die. I got too much. But at being afraid to die, I don't think so. Because when I was in my situation,
Right.
there was a point where, so at first I was frantic because I was like, oh shit, like I don't know what's going on. But then there comes a point where everything is calm, and I was just like, I'm good.
Whatever happens,
I'm good. Like I wasn't even worried about any of that.
That's
like
right.
it was a calm. I was good.
Right.
I was like,
That is when you said that, like, well, since we there, that was the time that I was depressed in life, and we won't go into that story. But you know, I think for me, when I think about it now, you asked about am I afraid to die? I think it is about spirituality. It's like, for me at least, knowing that, you know, I believe that things happen for a reason. I believe that there's a path set for me, and that helps me feel not as afraid of death, but like you said, I'm more concerned with trying to help my family and being around, you know, for my family and stuff like that. What about you?
Man, for me, it's crazy because, you know, like you said, going through a depression or something like that, I've had the times where it's like, man, if I just died now.
Should it be easier?
I got nice insurance. These niggas is millionaires.
Can't be no harder than this.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my kids is good. We ain't got to worry about no type of money, nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then I had to really come to my senses and be like, them niggas will not have a father no more.
That's not it.
They won't have this guy that's really
not it.
a big part of raising them and helping them be great human beings. They're going to really go through some tragic trauma shit that is not worth the $1 million+ bucks that they might get.
And we see it every day. We see it every day from people who are without that father figure person.
You know
we see it all the time.
You know, ever since I realized that, like I said, I mean, I don't think I've ever been afraid to die, and this is crazy. I don't know. I think it's something wrong with me. But, you know what I'm saying? That was probably when I realized that, it's like, I really don't want to die. Like before, it's like, you know, I don't want to die, but, you know, if it happens, it happens.
I thought that I couldn't die.
Oh, no,
I mean. And then at the point where I thought I might die, I was like, oh, shit, they got me.
Nah, that shit is crazy. Like, that shit is fucking me up. But, you know, the crazy part about that, you know, I tell a lot of people that's close to me, I be like, you know, I've already came to the conclusion that I'm not leaving here anytime soon. You know what I mean? So people that are with me are pretty safe, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I haven't had a lot of really close people to me die. You know, obviously we got aunts, uncles, you know, like I said, rest in peace, Uncle Tone. That was probably the heaviest death that I've had, like, in my life, you know what I mean? But yeah, so it's been, and you know, it's been tough, but I've had a good streak, I want to say, for a long time. The closest people to me, I haven't had a death in so long. So, you know, I thank God for that. And, you know, let's move on. Verse 3.
Verse 4. Oh, for 3?
I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around.
Don't hang around.
So I'm saying, like, so he keeps saying, he keeps repeating, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
But he knows. Everything, every verse that he's saying, can we not say that to this right now? The same thing is keep happening? The same thing.
Most of my stress and my upbringing was me feeling like I didn't belong or I wasn't worthy or
and they'll tell you that too.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I felt it. I mean, there's reasons. There's, you know, but yeah, and that's what he's talking about, right? Like he's talking literally. I'm talking literally too. Yeah. Right? And you go somewhere and it's like, nah, you don't belong here. You can't be here. Move on.
What are you doing over here?
Yeah, what you doing over here? Like, what are you doing here?
I'm outside. Why are you over here?
I live over here. What do you mean? Crazy.
Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please.
Go ahead, because this is the same.
But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Lord, there's been times that I thought I couldn't last for long, but now I'm able to carry on.
This is the worst part. It's the saddest part.
Yeah.
But I think it's part of the reason why it's been taking so long, right? Like we I don't want to say we don't, because I don't believe that. There's a lot of us who haven't got to a point to get the self-hate out of us to realize that we do kind of hate ourselves, some of us, and that keeps us from supporting and loving each other the way we need to overcome some of the challenges that we're faced with. And that's what he's just talking about. Like, and we hear it all the time. Like, niggas be hating. Niggas don't want to do this. We can't come together for nothing. We easy to tear each other down. You know, it's, and like I said, I hate regurgitating these things, but there's truth in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was just, I forget. Mr. Smart. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I know Mr. Smart. Yeah.
I mean, I got a DM from his manager. So it might come on the show and shit.
Fire.
But I was watching something and he was talking about how he's doing like a $1 billion donation thing where he's like he's trying to get $1 million from like each state. If each black person just $1, you know what I'm saying? And he could get. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy when I hear certain things like. It could be that simple.
Yeah. But because to people like us, it's that simple. We're like, oh yeah, it's
right.
$5.
Come on. It could be that simple.
But okay, so that is something that huge amount of people might not believe that everybody else is going to follow through.
It's the self-hate though.
So it stops them. But on a easier level where we have a contingent of people that have outrageous resources.
Right.
But so that's the part.
If they just decided.
But that's the thing, you know, I think we have to stop looking at, because he spoke about that too. Like,
I got the bus down.
We have to stop.
17 cars.
Yeah,
bus down the bus
we can't we can't even look at them no more like, nah, it's enough of us where we could get it done. You know what I'm saying? If we have, you know, shout out to Umar. Hopefully the school is opening up soon.
Shout out to Dr. Umar.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, I don't know if y'all want something else to talk about.
I just wanted to end with, I said before, self-awareness is the true intelligence, but I think self-love is the biggest weapon, and that's a part of self-awareness. I think if you become self-aware enough to realize that you don't love yourself enough, you could then love yourself enough, and once you love yourself enough, I believe anything is possible, especially for, you know, people of color.
I actually want to ask y'all one question before we go.
Let's do it.
The quote. The more things change, the more they remain the same. What does that mean to you, Rich?
Well, you know, I'm a scientific thinker, so I don't know what it means.
Rich.
But I hit
the corner on these niggas. I'm hit the corner on these niggas. Say what?
But I know that it. What? But I know that equation is correct.
What?
Okay. That I do know, right? Because I believe in the law of polarity, and I do believe that, you know, up is down and down is up, and everything. We already have all the answers. We don't got enough time. Sorry, we'll talk about this.
I got a shorter.
Let's hear it.
Because I think those type of changes are artificial. So the thing that's remaining the same is the thing. It's the elephant. It's the thing that always will remain the same.
Right.
The more things that are changing is the bullshit things.
I was gonna say.
We used to rock baggy pants, now they're tight, or they're sweatpants, or people have curly hair or dreadlocks or this or that.
And I think that's what the saying is actually
That's what's
saying.
changing.
It's like, look underneath the saying.
I mean, I don't know where the quote came from, but did Jay-Z say that in the song? The more things change, the more they remain the same?
Probably.
Right? Because then I think of when he says, you know, you could change, but that's just the top layer.
Yeah.
Like you was who you was for you got here.
Yeah. Because the change, we need to start making the real changes. Like if somebody did what you was talking about with the dollar thing, that would be a real change because it would affect real change on the money situation.
And I think it'll show us that we could do it. I think that's
that would be a real change. But that's not the changes that we do.
But I think also the more things change, Sam, it's like if you say more distractions, I'm thinking about too. Like the more we keep showing you, oh, this is different. Like you said,
that's the changes. That's the changes.
It's like now we're going
Bullshit.
deeper. There's some we're piling the shit on top of the real.
The real shit.
Now we forgetting what the real problem is.
Like I said, I use the elephant because it's the thing that needs to change is so obvious that you can't miss it. But if you take a bunch of towels and papers and all the type of shit and pile it on the elephant, eventually it's gonna be a big pile of towels, and you're not gonna say elephant is under there.
So what's your favorite part of Sam Cooke's "A Change Is Gonna Come"?
I'll tell you now, it's the first line. I said it before.
Yeah, I about to say, I think we can all, I think we all going to.
Because like that river, I've been running.
Why we always gotta be running, son? The boys in the hood.
I've been running ever since.
In every movie and why we always running. We always been running.
That's a fact.
Are we just running from ourselves? Oh man, let's not go there. I know it's time.
This is another episode of Verse for Verse. Shout out to Sam Cooke.
Change gonna come. Eventually.
Change gonna come.
Tell us when the change is gonna come.
Facts. Big U, James Rich, thank you guys for making me feel this way. I'm gonna have some more drinks. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Happy Black History Month.
Word. Every month is Black History Month,
Facts.
though.
Let's stop having a Black
and
History
every day
Month.
is Juneteenth.
Because American history is Black history.
Exactly.
Come on, baby.
That's what I wanted to say earlier. I forgot.
And then, real quick before we go, one thing somebody said today, I was watching, they said, you know, Black History Month is crazy because it's like when they do it, they show us that we were slaves. He said,
Right.
how would you like it if you had a woman's check your text message month where every time you talk about it, it's all of the bad stuff that happened. It's like, that's crazy. But we out of here, man. It's me. Handsome.
Yeah, that would
I just thought about that.
These biting my style, I hope they got dental plans. So get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. What you get that pure dough. Get that pure dough. Go get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. You get that pure dough.